One of the banks to fail the test was Banco Pastor. The bank's Deputy General Manager, Susana Quintas Veloso, is on the line from Spain. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. You failed the test. What are you doing to shore up your finances?
Well, the first thing, good morning, everybody. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to set our point here, is that from where we stand, Banco Pastor has not failed the test, as we have reached 5.6% of Core Tier 1, incorporating the already existing measures, such as generics. I can't think of a better capital buffer than a provision that already exists on balance sheet to mitigate exclusively credit losses. And
so if there was a problem, for instance, say if Greece were to default, for instance, you'd be fine because you've passed these tests in your view.
Well, if Greece was to default, I couldn't care less because I just have 2 million euros of Greek debt. So that is not a problem for me.
You have to care, surely, because of the contagion and risk that it's going to affect not just banks in Spain, but banks in Italy, banks in Paris.
I do care from that point of view, but what I'm trying to say is that, first of all, we didn't fail because we have this generics provision on balance sheet and also a mandatory convertible. And that's what the test has stressed. The test hasn't quite so stressed the Greek debt. So that would be like German banks' problem or French banks' problem, but it wouldn't be Banco Pastor's problem. Of course, we would be affected by the fact that if Greece defaults, everybody is affected, but not in relation to the stress test, which is the reason of this call.
What sort of exposure do you have to Spanish government debt with the yields that are now rising?
Well, it is like 2 billion.
And do you think that that is perfectly acceptable to be able to keep paying that back? You're not concerned about that at all?
Yeah, of course we are concerned. But I thought you meant talking about the Core Tier 1 of the stress test, which is related to credit losses.
What about
not the sovereign Greek crisis?
Let me just move on as well to the numbers that we've just had out on the housing situation in Spain, showing that really that is falling once again, worse results than we were expecting. How much of a concern is that? Because you are exposed quite heavily to that toxic mix of people not being able to complete on their mortgages and so on.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
The 5% drop in Spanish house prices, how is that affecting you?
Well, obviously, as you've seen in the default test, the prices, it has incorporated very strong, very tough macro conditions, which are worse for Spain than for the rest of the countries. And it also, in this case, I think from Banco Pastor's perspective, we would be protected because we have followed a very conservative LTV policy, not financing over, in the case of a mortgage to an individual, over 80%. And also in the case of real estate developers, over 50%. So you have that kind of cushion to protect you. Nevertheless, the stress shows that with significant declines in prices, you get significant losses that are incorporated in the test.
Are you looking to carry on and continue with the consolidation with other cajas in Spain? Is that part of the plan?
From our side, you mean?
Yes, are you looking at any assets?
We would be interested, but I don't think that right now there is that kind of opportunity in the market.
And have you been approached by anyone to combine with them?
Oh, we are always approached all the time because even if you see the results of the stress test, we are a very good bank. We know how to do retail, and we are constantly approached by different banks to consolidate.
Susana, final question to you, I suppose. Given from the conversation that we're having right now, you are remarkably upbeat about how your bank is faring and from what I guess how the rest of Europe is faring. Are you quite confident that Europe is going to get through this without much pain?
No, but no, I'm not confident about that. What I'm confident is when you are involved in such a crisis like this one with a sovereign, I mean, from our side, nor Susana nor Banco Pastor can do anything to solve the Greek problem. I cannot solve the debt sovereign problem in Europe. I cannot solve that the European Union doesn't agree to produce a solution that agrees to market sentiments. But what I can do is work on my bank to go through this. And our numbers tell us that we are benefiting from the Caja's restructuring. The increase in market share so far in 6 months has been 113 basis points, which is amazing. I have monitored the evolution of market shares in the last 15 years, and you never see such an increase. I see that we have managed to roll out all the bank's maturities for next year, which gives us 14 months of comfort. I hope that Europe can find a solution in 14 months' time. I hope so. So what we are doing is working really hard on the bank side to do what we can do from our side, but I cannot solve the European problem.
No, indeed. Susana Quintas Veloso, I'm grateful to you. Thanks for joining us live on Bloomberg.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity. Thank you.